Hey everyone, Shaquille here, and let's talk about the 5x5 method. So, the 5x5 method is you don't want to spend more than 5 minutes upset about something that's not going to matter in 5 years, right? And I made a short on this, and I kind of like bombed it, so I'll make this one to to kind of like reiterate the point that I was going for. And the whole concept of not spending more than 5 minutes being upset about something is because it takes away from what's actually necessary. And the more you spend time like thinking about how irritated you are or about how upset it made you, the more you take away from everything else that's supposed to be done. And it's an easy thing to fix, right? You can know that in your mind, all right, this made me very upset. I don't feel solid in this thought process and how I feel in my environment where I am. So, with that thought, it allows you to break down the concept of, hey, why am I so upset about this? Why does this need so much more of my attention? And then you start to slowly kind of think to yourself like, all right, it's not as crazy as I thought it was. It's not as drastic as it needs to be. Because there are times where even with me, right? Example, one day I was at work and it's one of my first tables, and one of the other servers ended up cashing them out and under their number. They cashed them out under their number, and the $10, mind you, this is $10. The $10 tip went to that server. Now, mind you, this was my table, and I'm over here like, whoa. I did not just put in all of this work to make $10. Let's remember this $10. $10. I did not put in all this work for that $10 to go to someone else. And I found myself in this like irritated state. I was like, man, this is some bull. Like I'm supposed to be mine. I'm going through all of these things, and as I further go deeper into the thought, I think I say to myself, and I go, wait a minute. I'm thinking about this too drastically. I'm thinking about this with too much animosity. So what do? I go and I talk to the manager. I say, hey, could you do me a favor and could you transfer that check to me? Because that was supposed to be the table that I had. What do? He goes, he transfers the check receipt to my number. I get the $10, and next thing you know, situation done. If it weren't for me to actually stop for a moment and be like, hey, how do I get the $10 that I worked for? Then I would have just continually down, and further in thought. And then I never got the $10. So it's only an example of me knowing that, all right, I don't need to spend more than 5 minutes being upset. I need to spend the 5 minutes figuring out how to change my perspective on why I'm upset. And this just allows you to be able to go into any situation with confidence, knowing that, all right, it may be a little difficult. I may get a little irritated. I may be a little stressed out. At the end of the day, you still have all of the knowledge, all of the power, and all of the control over your mind to be better in a stressful, negative situation. So, peace, y'all.